Hi guys, it's 7 o'clock on a Saturday. Oops, that's interesting. Um, I've just realised I haven't hidden my headphones and I can hear myself. Excuse me, let me just hide my headphones. There we go. All right, let's start again. 7 o'clock on a Saturday, and that means it is Aussie Mail Go Live session. So just bear with me while I log in and double check. If you're out there, give me a hello, and I'll be able to see where the comments and everything's coming through. Okay. Hey Linda, good to see you. I got one person watching, that's great. All right, bit of a rocky start there, but hopefully it'll all get better from now on in.
Lots of emojis tonight, Deb.
And what have we got? Donna and Bonnie, hi guys, how are you? Alrighty. Okay, well, we've got a couple of people, so that's good. I was a bit worried I was going to, was running a little late there, but doesn't look like I have to panic. Okay, Kim and Debbie, hi. Joe as well. Narakai, is that how you pronounce your name? Okay, Marion, fantastic. All right, Jenny, all right, more people are popping in. That's good. All right, beautiful. All right, well, the comments seem to be happening. People are popping in. Hey, Sue and Donna, glad to see you guys. Silver. All right, fantastic. All right, we've got some people. Things seem to be moving along. Karen. Thank you. Of course, it is, isn't it? Cassandra and Jade. Diane. Yep. All right, the gang's all here. Fantastic. All right, so we might pop over to the other camera and get going. All right. Okay, so the weave we're doing this week is Gryphon, which was created by a friend of Aussie Mouse who actually lives here in Mount Riv with us, Melanie Talon, a very artistic, clever lady in her own right across various mediums. And she's happy for us to show this off to you tonight. So it's a dragon tail variation. For those that are interested, you found the right one, Susie. Fantastic. Beautiful. All right, so I've got the 14 gauge version here. The ring sizes we did for this one was 5/16, or the 7.94 millimeter AA on the outside, and a 16 gauge 5 mil BA ring on the inside. And the next one I managed to do was 16 gauge 1/4 inch, or 6.35 mils on the outside. And the BA rings on the inside are actually 18 gauge 4 mil. Now I struggled a little bit with this smaller version. I did a couple of ring sizes. This is the one I ended up choosing and putting on the tutorial. So we've got the bright aluminium on the outside, which is a 5 mil ID, and 20 gauge 1/8 or 3.18 mils aluminium on the inside. Now I did really struggle with this size to come up with a ring size that worked. You can see in these two gauges that the weave is quite flexible in both directions, and yeah, it's quite a nice choice. This one here, although it bends this way, it's not quite so bendy in the other direction. It's the best of what I could try. I'll show you this one here, which was 18 gauge 3/16 on the outside, and let me see, 20 gauge 3 on the inside, and it's a lot stiffer. It didn't particularly bend either way, and it doesn't keep a straight line. So it's doable, but it is a very stiff version. So if you want AA on the outside, if you have to have it, then that's 18 gauge 3/16 on the outside with 20 gauge 3 on the inside. But that size doesn't appear in the tutorial, so you'll need to make a note of that. The tutorial uses this version here. Okay, so we will start, and as usual I am demonstrating in the 14 gauge size. So what we need to do first is we need to grab one of our big AA rings and pop on 2 closed BA rings. And close that up. Nice and simple. Okay, this next step's a little bit tricky, but not too tricky. So take up another coloured big ring. This time we want to close this ring. And we want to position that over the top of the 2 silver rings that we just added to the previous ring. And while we're holding that in place, we grab an open AA ring and we feed that through those 2 silver rings so that it sandwiches everything into place there. And we close that ring up. Now if you've got a twist tie, which I didn't get ready, in a minute, scrabble, scrabble. Just pop that on the end just to give yourself something to hold on to. Not necessary for the weave to hold into place or anything like that. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. So the original ring with the 2 closed BAs, we encircled the 2 BA rings with a big one. We held that in place by putting another AA ring through the 2 rings. So the next step we want is we want to take our BA rings and we pop that, basically we want it on that middle ring, that one that was closed. I'm trying to get my camera so I don't keep hitting my keyboard. Let me push that out of the way. There we go. Okay, so we want to put it on that middle ring, on that second ring in our chain, and basically we want one to end up on each side of our pair of rings. While you're putting them on, they can move. Don't worry about it too much, just you need to get them into final position once you add the next ring. So put 2 BA rings on the second of your large AA, one on either side of the BA rings that are already in place. And what we want to do with these is we want to position the BA rings inside of the last ring while being on either side of the BA rings already in play. Holding onto that very carefully. Pop your colour ring through those 2 BA rings and close. So I promised this one would be an easy one this week, and it is, because that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do all the way down the length of your chain. So I'll just show you that once more. We take our BA ring, we go down to the second ring, the one that's already encircling some BA rings, and we pop in 2 BA rings, one either side of the ones that are already in your piece. Don't worry too much if they move out while you're doing it, because you can pop them back into place. Okay. To get them into place, you need to move them so that the large ring on the end encircles them and they sit either side of the BA rings that are already there. Holding them into position like that, we grab another one of our large AA rings and we feed it through the BA rings. Now we're always working on top, on top, on top of each other, so that it goes up like a set of stairs. And that is it, basically. Nice and easy, yet a beautiful, effective weave. All right, so while we're weaving away, we'll put up the question for our prize. Now let me show you the prize. So I don't know that we've actually got anybody on here that's old enough to remember, or old enough as in customers to remember these. I might switch it to the other camera. Here we go. To remember these cups. We bought out these cups and gave them away, oh gosh, a few years ago now. So this is a limited edition. This is the last of our cups that we gave out a few years ago. Some very special customers got them from us. This is the lonely last one that we have left, and we're giving it to you guys tonight. But not only do you get this limited edition beautiful Aussie Maille mug, and believe me, the words are right way around when you guys get them, not back to front like you're seeing at the moment. It's also full of jump rings. So in there you've got about 100 grams, I think it is, of various size jump rings. So that's our prize for you guys tonight. So beautiful coffee mug and 100 grams of jump rings, full of Aussie Maille jump rings. All right, so that's going to go out to one lucky person. We'll do what we did last week. We'll ask you a question and we'll assign you a random number, and we'll pull it out and let you guys know later. We haven't really devised a system that works online at the moment. It's a little bit too difficult for us to track. So if you want our limited edition cup, the one of few who has one that's in existence anymore, we'd like to know, where in the world would you like to go? Where would you like to visit? Chris wants to know what country or what town or whatever. Where's your ideal holiday location? So he would love to know that information. So pop your ideal holiday location in the comments. We'll note you all down, assign you a number, and we'll draw a number randomly. And whoever has that number against their name will get this lovely cup sent out to them next week in the mail. So if you guys all do that. Alaska, interesting, Karen. Nice, yeah, Canada. Love to see Canada. Beautiful. All right, so while you guys, yeah, I'm with you, Wes. Scotland, castles, absolutely. While you guys are doing that, I will switch this back and I'll just keep weaving along a little bit for those that still need some help, but I'm sure all you clever people have gotten this weave. All right, so Chris is writing down lists furiously for his idea when he gets to go on a holiday.
Where I know I can escape.
When I let him go on a holiday, which, you know, could be quite some time now. All right, so I'll just continue weaving while you guys are doing that. All right, so this is what your work looks like here. And at this stage, we just need to add a couple of BA rings on either side of the BA rings that are already in place. So we pop those in, one on that side, one on this side, and we fold the AA ring up so it encircles them, and we pop another one in to squish them into place. Okay, and we close it up, of course. That's what he tells you, Susie. No, you can't answer with everywhere, Stephen. You've got to pick one. Got to pick one. All right, so we just continue adding rings like that. So one BA, or two BA rings. Oh, I'm going to keep my camera's just not in the right position tonight. Like that. Fold the AA up over the top. Oh, now you can see that's jumped out of position there, so I'm now going to have to wrangle it. There we go. And we pop the colour one in. And Bob's your uncle. So as I said, really effective looking weave, but quite simple. All right, so I just want to show you how I finished it off. Now, generally in the middle of the weave, I find those rings stay locked in position. If you've got the right ring size, not a problem. It can move a little bit at the ends where the clasps are, probably because the tension is just not there on the rings. But to show you what I did to finish them off, because these last rings tend to be a little bit loose and sloppy, I ended up feeding a small ring through, get that close enough, through the last pair of BA rings, one on each side, to sort of squish and give that last ring some support, and then popped a small clasp attachment ring on that. Same on the other end, a small a ring on either side. So one of the rings that we were using in the middle will do for either side, giving that last ring a bit of support, otherwise it flops around. And then a small clasp attachment and the clasp attached to that. So like I said, it's quite a stable weave. I was concerned that it might pop out, and generally it doesn't pop out. Just on the end, sometimes you might see a little bit of movement in those weaves, those rings, but otherwise that's it. So this is a really quick session tonight. Look at that. Oh, what colour is that? Which colour is what, Leanne? You've got to be a bit more specific than that. Okay. What did you miss, Gina? First 15 minutes. Look, Gina, love, you honestly didn't miss very much. It is quite a simple weave. I can get some rings ready and show you the start of it again if you like. The bluey one. That would be the purple one. I'm beginning to think every time you see blue, it's probably going to be purple.
Yeah, I think it's the digital cameras.
Well, it's because, and the lighting is cold as well. It's the blue, the lights are cool, they're not warm, so purple needs to be warmed, otherwise it comes out as blue. All right, so I'm going to show Gina again, if you're watching, love, how to start. So we pop two closed small rings onto, or two small rings onto a large ring like that. Okay, we take another large ring that we've closed and we lay that on the top of that ring that we just made, making sure that we encircle the two BA rings. Now while we're holding that in position, we grab another open large ring and we feed it on top of the large purple one that we're holding in place, skimming through to pick up those BA rings that are there, and that then locks that middle ring in place for us. And then all you need to do after that is grab one of your BA rings, and we want to hang two BA rings off our second ring in this case, one on either side of those silver rings that are there. Now they may not sit in place when you first attach them, and that's okay. We'll be moving those into position before we lock them down. So we put those two rings in, and then we make sure they're sitting either side of our previous bright aluminium rings. We fold our big AA ring down so that it encircles them, hold that in place, take another opened large ring, and like we did before, feed it through those rings and close it. That locks everything down, and we just keep repeating that all the way along until we get to the end. So two bright aluminium rings off the ring that is already encircling the last pair of rings that you put in. You move those into position so that there's one on either side of those previous rings. flip your AA ring up so that it encircles them. You grab another one and you pick up those 2 bright aluminium rings. Because, Marion, this is a multi-gauge weave, AR doesn't always work with multi-gauge weaves. So the listed AR for this weave is actually 5 and 4.2. But as I said, that doesn't always work with multi-gauge rings. Sometimes the straight AR conversion just doesn't work. As I said, I had a lot of trouble fiddling around with it to try and find the bigger ones, no problem whatsoever. This one was the size rings that Melody suggested would work, and they worked beautifully. There was no problem with that at all. I didn't have too much of an issue finding rings for this one, but I couldn't use straight AR conversions, especially to get this thinner one. As I said, this one, although I liked it, I couldn't put it down as a size that worked because it didn't work really well as I would have liked it to work. This one's also not 100%, but it's a better version than the other one. Okay, but yeah, so aspect ratio is a great tool and it's a great starting spot for multi-gauge weaves, but it's not always a straight conversion like it is for single gauge weaves. But it gives you a starting point, and there is nothing wrong with a little bit of experimentation. Okay, fantastic. So I think everybody's got that. I don't think anybody else needs any further help. As I said, it's a nice, easy one, but a beautiful weave nonetheless. For those that like to sheet their weaves, this one can be sheeted. I haven't had a go at it. It's not as easy as some of the others that you sheet is according to Melody's instructions, but you can find it can be sheeted if that's what you want to do. She's got a version of it up on Maille Artisans. If you want to pop along there and have a look, you can do that. All right, so I think everybody's answered the question. We've got a lovely list of possible places for Chris to escape to, so that's great. I'm sure he'll be very happy, and I'm going to have to chain him up, I think, just in case he escapes too early. All right, so thank you very much, guys, for that. Just to let you know, you've still got, for those that haven't joined up to our Maille Club, which is the kit subscription one, but want to, you've still got just over a week to get that done. We'll start sending the next lot of month's kits out on the 21st and the 22nd of August. They'll be going out. So you've got until the 20th to sign up for the kit and PDF subscription. And for our weekly PDF subscription, you can sign up for that up until Thursday, and we'll send out the PDF for Saturday's weave on Friday night for that one. Chris has put a link up for those that are interested. Pop along there. There's more information there about what you get. Next month is a 5-week month, guys. So if you haven't signed up, it's actually a brilliant month to sign up to, because not only do you get the bargain that you get with the normal 4 kits, but you get a 5th kit for free. So if you haven't signed up and you've been a bit hesitant about it, next month's a great month. Definitely value for money. And I've got some very interesting weaves lined up for you all. I've had a frustrating week trying to get our ring sizes down pat, but we've got there and we're fine and we're ready to go. All right, so I think that's it. Everything is done. I guess that's it, guys. Bit of an early one tonight, isn't it? That means I can get my hot apple pie that Chris bought for dessert. I hope he bought cream. Did you buy cream, babe?
What, cream?
Cream for the hot apple pie.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Absolutely. And custard.
And custard. All right, beautiful. Well, I know what I'm about to go do. I'm about to go heat up a pie and have that for dessert. Hope you all enjoyed the week. Thank you so much, guys, for popping along. We'll put up next week's on Wednesday. As long as I'm not having a hell of a week again, it'll go out on Wednesday. And The people who are part of our Maille Club kit and PDF will have their version of the kit of the PDF on Wednesday as well. And the guys with the weekly PDF only will get theirs on Friday. If for some reason you don't receive it, guys, give us a little nudge just to check whether we've sent it out. All right, guys, thank you very much. I'm glad you could all come along. It's good to see you all. And we'll catch up with you next week. Take care. Bye.